So we are here to present on a very important topic, which is, as you all know, suicide prevention. So before I start with the topic, I have to ask a few questions. So how many of you have come across any person who was feeling very low or hopeless or maybe depressed, regardless of whether they were having suicidal thoughts or not? Just raise your hand if you have ever come across a person who was either feeling hopeless, sad, or very low. Not just today, not tomorrow, throughout your life. 21, 22, 23 years of your life. Okay. Thank you for raising your hand. So for those of you who have raised your hand, and for those of you who haven't, but I'm sure you might have come across somebody. So I want to know what made you think that they were, either feeling low or feeling sad or depressed. What made you feel that way? You can shout out your answers, or maybe there's a mic as well. Maybe anyone can take the mic. The question is, what made you feel or think that the person is feeling low or looks depressed or sad? Random answers. It's very obvious. Sorry? They don't show any interest, right? Sorry? They are quiet all the time, yes? So basically, you might have seen a change in their behavior or change in the way they talk. Maybe the things they talk about was different, or the change in their mood, right? So you basically noticed it. You observed all of these changes, and that's how you got to know they were feeling sad. Okay, now can I know what did you feel like doing when you came across that person? Or what did you do? Maybe you can give an example, or what did you feel like doing? Even if you did not do something, what did you feel like doing? Okay, let me give you a scenario. So let's assume your close friend is, showing all of those signs. She's isolating herself. She is, very sad. She's basically, there's a change in behavior. She's not talking much as she did before. The energy is very low. So what would you do as her friend? You wouldn't do anything. You just let her be. Talk to them, yes. And? Okay, so the others would just ignore whatever they have seen and let their friend be. No. So I can see people are nodding no. But then what's the answer? What would you do? Sorry? Be present. Okay, take him or her out, okay? So basically, through all of these actions, you would try to show that there is somebody for them, right? Like there is some kind of support for them. And that is exactly what we are here for today. Now, regardless of, so as you can see from my first question, most of our hands were up, right? We have come across one or the other person who were feeling sad or depressed, right? And most of us maybe tried to observe these signs differences as well, and some of us might have even tried to help them. Now, some of us might not have known what to do when you come across this. How many of you might have felt that? Okay, no need to raise your hand, but I'm sure some of you might felt that you did not know what to do when they are probably crying in front of you, or when they are expressing something very sad. So you would not know. Now that is exactly what we are here for today. Okay. So we will be basically telling you a lot of things about how to observe, what are the signs that you need to observe, and also how you can help. Okay, so there's a lot of information that you will be getting from today's session. So I would expect a lot of attention and especially interaction. Okay, so we'll make sure to keep it interactive so that we get to know your perspectives, your answers as well. So now getting into the topic, we are here to basically spread awareness about suicide prevention. Okay, so as you all know, this month we are commemorating the suicide prevention month. So we will be basically, okay, so when I asked you the questions, you were having different answers, right? So most of the people who are having these suicidal thoughts, They basically want somebody who would notice them, who would listen to them, and who would be there for them. Okay? And that is the role that all of us here can play. Whether it's a friend, a neighbor, a classmate, a benchmate, or batchmate, anybody, even if it's a stranger, this is a role that all of us can play. All of us here can listen, all of us here can notice, all of us here can be there for somebody, right? So we can basically together prevent suicide by spreading awareness, which is what we are doing today, and you can do this tomorrow with your friends, family, everyone, and by taking right action to prevent suicide. Okay? So here we are here to, this is an initiative aimed to equipping you with the knowledge and skills that you need to recognize warning signs and intervene effectively. So as you all know, suicide is a very sensitive topic, so we have to be much aware and have a lot of knowledge as to how we need to intervene. So before moving on to how we can intervene, let's understand what suicide is. Okay? So suicide basically is taken from the word, Latin term, which is suicidium. So see, as you can see in the PPT here, sui means oneself and shidium means to kill. So basically you have understood, suicidium means to kill oneself. But there is a very interesting thing. So this great person named Edwin Schneidman, so he is basically a suicidologist, okay? So he studied suicide extensively, and he told that suicide is rarely about death. So if suicide, which means to kill oneself, is not about death, what is it? Right, who said that? Okay, good. Okay, so basically, as he said, suicide is really about death. It's mostly about an escape. Now, let's not imagine. We will actually take our real life experiences. How many of you here have had very intense tooth pain? Okay, how many of you here have had very bad headache? What did you feel like doing when you had that bad, intense pain? Sleep? Fall asleep, okay. But sometimes if the pain is very intense, you're not even able to sleep. So what did you feel like doing? Sorry? Bang your head, yes, okay. And if it's true tooth pain, you would want to take out that teeth for one so that the pain stops, right? Similarly, even for those people who are having suicidal thoughts, of course, we cannot compare the pain like that, but for people who are having suicidal thoughts, it's not about wanting to die. They just want to escape the unbearable psychological or emotional pain that they are feeling. So we have understood one truth about suicide. They don't actually want to die. Okay, they don't actually want to take their life. They just want to escape from this pain that they are feeling. Now, there are a lot of myths around suicide. Anybody here knows any myths around suicide? No. Okay. Okay. Or maybe you do not know that it's a myth. Okay. So let's do a quick activity. I'll read out a few sentences. I want you to tell me if it's a truth or a myth. Okay. So we'll do one thing. Everybody has to raise their hand. I'll read a sentence. If it is a truth, raise your right hand. If it's a myth, raise your left hand. Okay. But everybody has to raise their hand. Okay. So the first sentence is, suicidal individuals do not want to die, but want to escape. If it's truth, right hand. If it's myth, left hand. People who are confused did not listen to me say something earlier. Okay, so as I told you earlier, suicidal individuals don't actually want to die. I wouldn't say this for all suicidal individuals. Most of the suicidal individuals do not actually want to die. They just want to escape. Now, the second sentence is, talking about suicide puts the idea into their mind and they would actually want to do it. If it's a truth, raise your right hand. If it's false, it's a myth, raise your left hand. Talking about suicide puts the idea into their mind and they would actually want to do it. Everybody has to raise their hand, so please, right or left. Okay. Okay. You know your answers. I haven't noticed. So, you know your answer. So, this is actually a myth. So, talking about suicide basically makes people who are having suicidal individuals, they feel like they would want to open up. So basically we are giving them a hint that you can talk about your suicidal thoughts, that you can talk about what you're feeling. So it does not put the idea into your mind, depends on how you talk about it, but rather it gives them a space to open up. Okay, now the third sentence is suicidal episode. Okay, let me skip that. Okay, so I'm not able to think of another myth. So maybe you can come up with another myth if you have any idea. No? Okay. Okay. So we'll do one thing. So now that we have understood there are a few myths and truths about suicide, we will be learning what is the actual truth behind suicide. Okay? So there is a general truth. Before we know how to help the people, we have to understand what is the truth about suicide. Okay? So we will move on to learn the truths about suicide. So first one and the main important one is that most suicidal people want relief from the pain and not death. This is something that I hope everybody has understood. Now the second point is many want to be rescued but hesitate to ask. So now that we know they don't actually want to die, they want to be rescued. So why do you think they hesitate to ask? People will not take them seriously, yes. Judgment, mainly, yes. So basically people, they think that if they go out and talk about it, if they ask for help, they will be humiliated, or they will not be taken seriously, or they will be rejected. Okay, so there will be a lot of judgments coming around whatever they are feeling. So basically whatever they are feeling, the thoughts that's coming into their mind, it's not validated. So that is the reason why it is why they hesitate to ask. So we as individuals have to make sure we do not do all of these things. Okay, so the next point is suicidal thoughts often come with ambivalence. So basically, people who are having suicidal thoughts, they are often in a state of confusion. On one hand, they want to take their life. They want to end their lives so as to end their pain and end the pain that they are feeling. On the other hand, they want to live. They don't actually want to die. So when they are in the state of confusion, they're constantly thinking about, okay, I want to take my life. No, I want to live. I want to take my life. They are in this constant state of confusion. So this state gives all of us a chance to intervene. So this timely intervention is extremely important. Now the next point is, don't ask them what they want to do. Tell them what they must do. So as I told you, they will be in a state of confusion, right? So when they're in a state of confusion, they're in a state of they are very highly suggestible. You tell them what to do, they'll do it. That is why you have to understand that they are in a state of, they are highly suggestible in that point of time. So you will have to tell them what to do. So don't go and ask them, what do you feel like doing? Obviously, you know what the answer is, right? So tell them what to do. Tell them, put away that knife, throw away those pills. Just tell them directly, direct them what to do. They basically want an authoritarian figure to direct their feelings and emotions. Okay? So the next point is most people are acutely suicidal for an extremely brief period of time. So there is something called a suicide episode. Okay, so suicide episode is basically when they get the intense thought of taking their life, of ending their lives. So for how long do you think that happens? Years, months, weeks, days? Any answer? Okay, you might have some answer in your mind anyways. So we have to understand that the suicidal episode happens for a very brief time. So when I say brief time, it happens for a few minutes to just a few hours. So you know that this few minutes and just the few hours that we have, it's a very crucial period of time where you have to make sure that you're there for that person. Okay? So these are some of the truths about suicide which you have to keep in mind. Take away those myths, take away those judgments. Okay? So key takeaways from this, what I did about suicide was, prevention is possible. So earlier I had mentioned this person, Edwin Schneidman, right? So he and his fellow mates, so basically they did a very extensive research on suicide, and they have come to understand that suicide can be prevented to a large extent, okay? And that is because warning signs exist, okay? So few of you mentioned a few warning signs earlier, but there are more warning signs to look out for. We'll understand that in the coming slides. 80% give warning signs before attempting. So as you can see, the number is very high, right? Out of 100, 80% are giving warning signs. And if we were to observe and notice those warning signs and do something about it, we can prevent suicide to a major extent, right? Now the next one is your role matters. So as you all know, all of us are able to listen, all of us are able to notice, we can be there for somebody. Even our presence matter the most to them, okay? Even if we do not know what to say to them, just being there for them, just sitting beside them, that also matters a lot for them. So how many of you here, raise your hand if you are willing to listen, notice and support other person? It can be any person, your friend, family, anyone. Okay, so the others are not willing to do it. Okay, no problem. So congratulations to all of you who have raised your hand. You have already taken your first step towards as a gatekeeper. So gatekeepers, some of you might have a question who a gatekeeper is. So for that, I'll be calling on to Nashat, who will be telling you who a gatekeeper is. Thank you for listening again.
Good morning, everyone. Okay. So my friend Ayat, she just spoke of what is suicide and general truths about suicide, right? So now we will be discussing something called a gatekeeper. So what comes to your mind when you think of a gatekeeper? I'm sorry? Not really, but we can try more. Anybody wants to give a try? What comes to your mind when you think of the word gatekeeper? Yeah. So we can look at gatekeeper as, when we think of it, maybe the first thing that comes to your mind would be a security guard, right? A watchman. What would a security guard or a watchman do? He would guard people. He would look out for people, right? So a gatekeeper in suicide prevention is a similar concept. Before we delve into what exactly is who exactly is a gatekeeper in suicide prevention, I have a question for all of you. Please listen to me carefully. How many of you here have witnessed a road accident? Please raise your hands. Okay. Where's the mic? Would anyone like to say, don't worry, would anyone like to say what would you do in this circumstance? There's no right or wrong answers. What would you do in this circumstance? No, if there is someone who's gotten an injury and you are a bystander, how would you help this person? Louder. Right. So you would call an ambulance, right? You would go, you would check if that person is injured, and you would be with that person until there's some assistance that's provided, right? So a gatekeeper in suicide prevention is somebody who does similar thing. So as a gatekeeper in suicide prevention, you are providing the first line of help. Now, you might not be a doctor, but you will make sure that this help is provided to this person, right? So now let's look into details of who exactly is a gatekeeper. Now, a gatekeeper is someone who believes that help can be provided. A gatekeeper in suicide prevention is someone who believes that with required resources, with support, suicide can be prevented, which is true, like I discussed earlier, right? A gatekeeper is a helper. So a gatekeeper is a person who is willing to help someone who is in need, a person who is struggling. A gatekeeper is knowledgeable. So when you are a gatekeeper in suicide prevention, you are somebody who has enough knowledge about the warning signs and the risk factors of suicide, which we will be discussing further into this session. And a gatekeeper is a watcher. Like I mentioned earlier, the first thing that comes to our mind when we think of a gatekeeper is a watchman. What does a watchman do? He guards people, he looks out for people. So as a gatekeeper in suicide prevention, you would make sure that you're looking out for people. You would make sure that everybody around you is having a certain well-being, right? Now, let's look at what are warning signs. Before I discuss what are warning signs, would anyone like to say any warning signs that they know of? Anyone? You can just be louder. No? Nobody knows a warning sign? That's one of the signs, yes. Yes. She said being very happy suddenly and giving things away. Anyone else wants to give a try? Correct, isolating themselves. Okay. So let's move on. I had mentioned that a person who wants to put an end to their life, okay, by suicide, 80% of the times, these warning signs are already shown by the person. So it's very crucial for us to be able to learn these signs, to be able to understand these signs, as well as identify these signs, so we can put in our efforts to try and prevent suicide. So one of the signs of suicide, you would see mood changes in a person who is suicidal. Like for instance, let's say that a person who appears normal to you, suddenly you would see that they're very sad, or suddenly you would see that they're really irritable, right? They would have been a person who's usually calm, composed, how normally we would appear, right? But suddenly you're seeing this shift in their mood. And like she mentioned earlier, they get happy all of the sudden. So for a person who's persistently sad all the time, suddenly you see that they're unexpectedly cheerful, then unexpectedly happy. This is one of the major signs that the person has probably already made up a plan to end their life by suicide, and they want to make sure that the last few moments they have on this earth are pleasant and joyful ones. Another sign we have is behavioral changes. So when we speak of behavioral changes, someone there mentioned isolation. So a person who is suicidal is most likely to withdraw themselves from the people around them. So they might have been a person who's usually going to social gatherings. They might have been a person who's usually hanging out with friends, who's interacting with friends, right? But suddenly you see them that they don't want to engage with people a lot. Suddenly they want to be on their own. They don't want to be accompanied by people. They might get irritated by even the thought of having someone around them. Neglect of self-care. So when you are somebody who is suicidal, even the smallest basic personal hygiene gets really difficult for you. That would be taking a bath, it could be combing your hair. And when we want to go to a particular setting, we make sure that we look presentable, right? You would iron your clothes, you would properly button your shirts, you would probably insert your shirt, all of this. But for somebody who's suicidal, all of these, even the personal hygiene, the basic ones, could be really difficult. Secretive behaviors. What do you understand by secretive behaviors? Anyone? Do you not understand anything from secretive behaviors? I could hear someone. Suspicious, right? Okay, so when somebody is suicidal, they're going to act like they have something to hide, and you might not know what it is that they're trying to hide, but they're really suspicious with their behavior. And usually when people pretend or like act like they have something to hide, we think that there is something suspicious about their behavior, right? One of the other signs, one of the warning signs that we have to keep in mind is verbal indicators. Now, we also know of some people, there might be some cases where they will directly express to you that they are suicidal. So this might be in the forms of statements such as, I wish I was not born, I don't see the point of life, my life has no meaning, there's lack of meaning to my life, there's no purpose in my life, I don't know what I'm doing here, I don't know if I belong here. So when you come across such statements, it might be with anyone, right? It might be your friends, it might be someone who's close to you or your family members. Please make sure that you attend to these statements. And most of the time, sadly, what happens is these statements, they get brushed off thinking that the person is simply using humor, but they might actually be expressing something to you. So if you see someone who is using these statements, go up to them, ask them if everything is okay, if they would like to talk about something, and if they're not willing to talk to you, make sure that you help them with finding out some professional help or some help that they can seek. One of the other warning signs is physical signs. So for someone who's suicidal, for someone who might be struggling, they have trouble with their sleep. So usually we go to bed at a particular time, right? You might go to bed early, you might go to bed late, but there is a particular time you go to bed, right? And when you're going to bed, you will fall asleep. But for someone who is suicidal, they might be overwhelmed by so many emotions that even their biological functioning gets disturbed by it. So you might not be able to sleep properly, or sometimes there's cases where they might sleep excessively. And there's loss of appetite. The person might not eat as much as they used to before. And last up, we have energy depletion. So for someone who is suicidal, you might see that they appear exhausted or tired most of the times. And how can we recognize this exhaust or tiredness? Usually, even when we are tired, we're probably going to be having droopy shoulders, right? Or like our face, we're going to be frowning. Or like we sigh a lot when we're tired, right? Again, all of us, it's normal to be tired. But for somebody who might be suicidal, for somebody who might be struggling, they are going to be tired most of the times. And you can make it out when you see this. Some of the other additional signs that we have is academics. So for someone who might be scoring well in the classes, or let's say even average, right? Suddenly you see there's a drop, okay? Suddenly they're not able to keep up with their studies. Suddenly they're not able to concentrate in the class. They're really distracted in the class. This could also be one of the signs of suicide. And one of the major signs of suicide, like she mentioned, was possessions. So for a person who's suicidal and they have already resorted to a suicidal plan, they're most likely to give away the possessions that they hold, okay? And these possessions, we all have something that's important to us, right? Like for instance, let's say that I have a bracelet and I have a sweater that's really dear to me and I would not share this with anybody. But when you have already decided that you want to put an end to your life, you want to give away these possessions to your loved ones just as a form of farewell. Or you even would write them goodbye notes to show them your love and gratitude. Lastly, one of the warning signs we have is creative expression. What is creative expression? So some of us might not directly express our feelings, right? Some of us have a particular way of expressing our emotions. Some of us, all humans, I believe all humans are really creative. We all have a different and unique way of expressing our emotions. And some people might do this in form of art, music, poetry. So when you are someone who is suicidal, you are most likely to use these themes in your art. So if you are, let's say, an artist, you are a painter, you'll be able to find out these themes in their paintings. Like for instance, there might be dark themes like red colors or black colors. And even with regard to music, we've seen a lot of singers who have died by suicide, and before they die, they have released songs which center around death, hopelessness, and all of this. Even authors for that matter, even poets for that matter. So all of these are few signs that we have to keep in mind. Now we have discussed what are the warning signs in suicide. And like I mentioned earlier, 80% of the people, they show these warning signs before they actually decide to take their life away to suicide. So I hope that with these warning signs, all of us have now received enough information and we will be able to be gatekeepers for someone who might be struggling. Who and all here is willing to be a gatekeeper? Others? Okay. So with this, I conclude my part. Now, before we go into the next parts, we have a fun activity for you again. I want 3 volunteers. 3. Anyone, please. Okay. Come on, 1, 3. Whoever's name comes out loud, they have to come to the stage. 3 volunteers, fast, quick, 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 quick. Who's Manasa? Guys, come on, it's a fun activity. It's going to be quick. 3 volunteers, quick, fast, 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 fast. Or I'm going to start picking. I don't want to pick. Anyone? You want to volunteer? You want to volunteer? You want to volunteer for the activity? It's okay, come. It's fun, I promise. Okay. We have 1 volunteer. Okay. So this activity, it's similar to Damsharad, so you don't really have to do a lot. So can I have 2 more volunteers? Come. Thank you so much for volunteering. Could you tell the audience your names?
Okay, I'm Nidhya Shetty. I'm Ila Sharif.
So I'm Akshata Rajesh.
Now I want you to pick out 1 person from the audience as your pair. And it can be anyone and they have to come up. Okay. So they are going to pick out 1 person as their pair and you don't have a choice. You have to come up to the stage. Pick.
Manasa.
Mariam.
Yeah. So, hi, it's me again. Have you guys heard of a game called Taboo? No? Nobody knows Taboo? Okay. Okay, so basically, one of you will be the person who will guess the word, and the other person will get a word. Along with the word, they'll get 4 to 5 words that describes the actual word better. But the twist is, you're not supposed to use that words. Did you get it? Like, do you want? So basically, we'll give you guys a chit. There'll be a main word. That is the word your partner has to guess. There'll be other 4 words. Let's say I am giving you a word that is gun. The actual word is gun. If you say weapon, your partner can guess it easily. So that is the tabooed word. You should not say weapon. You should say something else that would make them guess the word. Works? Did you get it? Yeah? You guys clear? Huh? You guys understood? Team 1, 2, 3. Works? Yeah. Let's say you are picking the chit. You'll read the word and then omit the other 4 words and explain it to your partner. And she'll guess the word. They'll play chemistry. Who's gonna guess? Who's gonna guess the word? Yeah, it's gonna be with a timer, guys. It's gonna be with a timer. 1 minute. Whoever gets the most point wins. Okay? Works? Did audience understand? Yeah. No. Are you guys ready?
No, no, you will like this. Yeah.
Okay, so there's one word. Okay, you have to give them clues
Yeah.
about that
Like,
word.
wait. Come here. See.
Basically, the word chip. Okay, we can use whatever you want. Like you can say whatever you want. You're not supposed to use your action. Okay, no action. Only the can you mention that the words are related to mental health? Okay, I listened. If you look bad, I'm going to kill you.
So who's gonna guess? Who's gonna guess? She's guessing and he'll be giving the clue. Let's get it to the center of the stage. No, no, you don't have to. I'll just be louder so everybody hears. You won't have to use the mic. If you use any of the word by mistake, you'll be eliminated.
Okay, wait.
Wait, three. Yeah. See, you're not supposed to use this word or the taboo words. You can't directly tell her the word. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.
1 second. Wait. Set the timer. The audience can also guess. Okay, the audience can also guess. Okay? We'll start.
Yeah. I don't want the mic.
Because the audience has to hear. Now.
Little bad.
It's okay.
Okay.
We'll start timer. 3, 2, 1, start.
Malpractice. What happened? One more word. What is that other word? What is the process called? What is the process called? It's not called elimination. What's the process called? When you sit in the exam hall and you use a cheat and when you sit in the another word for cheating. Oh, not copying but similar. I listen. The other word, who repairs car? What are they called? What is? Add these two words and figure out. Try. Not malpractice. See the word I told you. What's the first word? What's the first word I told you? What's the second word?
It's related to mental health.
It's so easy. Yeah.
Next. You can pick a next card. Okay, time's up. The word was coping mechanism. He meant to connect it with copying, so it's in 1 minute. We'll see if we can have another round. Next team, second team. You can stay here. Guys, be a little louder because audience are also guessing, right? Hey, wait. There's coping mechanism. She'll take. No, man, this is a different word.
Okay.
Wait, I'll explain it to you. Okay? You can do whatever you want. No waiting. You can't think. Let's start the timer. You can also do it. We'll start the timer. 3, 2, 1, start.
Our ma'am takes class for us every Saturday, first period.
Microbiology, Sanjana ma'am.
Oh no, you're a different combination.
Zoology.
We have common classes. Had common classes last semester.
Value education.
Yeah. Who takes class for us?
Shalin ma'am.
Who is she?
Counselor.
Next one. You can go next one.
Oh. Okay. Somebody likes drinking a lot.
Alcohols.
He is dash.
Alcohol. Addicted. Addicted.
Addicted. Yeah,
Addicted,
but
yeah.
like, what is the word? That's fine, right? The word is.
She has to say the exact word.
Alcohol addictor.
Yeah, but like, alcohol is a.
Addiction.
Yeah.
I told addiction first.
Students, please note, there are 2 attendance sheets being circulated. One with your name, register number and the subjects, and the other one is just your name and signature. Make sure each one of you all have filled both the sheets before you leave the hall.
Just be louder so the audience can hear.
Okay, when someone is...
Three, two, one, go.
Okay, when someone is sad, what is the first reaction that they do? Okay, what does a baby do when it is born?
Cry.
Okay, then I have a sibling who's a girl.
Okay.
Okay, now combine those 2 words.
Crying sis. Cry. Yeah. Give us the next clue. Done.
Okay, whenever we, there's a saying, dash is better than cure.
Prevention.
Okay, people really need this, but they don't seek for it. And
Help. Counseling. Help. Therapy.
they just explain this topic, and there's a guard in that involved.
Gatekeeper. Oh, damn. We'll go for another. Maybe you guys can shift. Oh, great job. Guys, can we give them a huge round? She was so good. You're guessing? You're
No,
guessing.
I'm telling.
You're gonna tell the
Yeah. Okay, so I'll start it.
You guess.
Okay, I have one now. What? What does Tia do in my delusions? What does Tia do in my delusions?
I don't know.
Tiara, what? Okay, what Tiara does in my delusions? Okay, if someone is, trying to do something, what do? What do I help you do?
Study,
No, like, okay,
assignment,
no. Okay, like what? Like government dash. There is. Okay.
government job.
No, there is. It should be in a proper, row. Like, how do I tell this, man?
If you want, you can switch.
Okay, we can switch.
As in, like, words.
Ah, okay, okay.
Speak big.
It is, when you have the tea, it's.
Teacup,
No,
teapot,
no. It's like, tea is,
dip, tea bag,
no, like it's.
boiling, hot. Okay,
And then with the ruler, what do you do?
stir it.
No, with the scale, what do you do? Yeah. What? Ruler scale. Yeah, correct.
What is that?
Okay. Hot light.
What like?
Bro, you're even worse than me.
We'll be done. Okay, so thank you so much.
Bro, give them one chance.
Thank you so much for participating. Make it fast now. Riha. Please make it fast. Yeah, I'll do. No, you do.
So, good afternoon, everyone. I can see the restlessness in your face. I can see that you are very hungry, right? Very hungry?
Yes, okay, we'll try to finish this as quickly as possible, okay? So please bear with me. Okay, so I hope you all had the fun while we conducted this activity. Did you guys have fun? Yes, okay. So now we have come to the part where it is a very serious topic. So I want, though you guys are very hungry, very restless, I want you to pay attention to this particular topic. Is that okay? Is that okay? Okay. So when we talk about suicide, do you think suicide happen instantly? It's like just one snap and people commit suicide. Is that how it happens? No. So you think that there are stages, right? So that's what we will be looking into, okay? So my topic is suicide continuum, and we will be looking to the stages, like how a person go from one stage to the final stage, okay? Okay. So the first stage is suicide ideation. So when I tell about suicide ideation, what do you think it might be? Sorry? Okay, anyways, I also, okay. So suicide ideation is basically a passing thought. So passing thought would be like, it's, you can see like, you might hear people say like, I wish I disappear. Have you come across people saying, or you have said like, I wish I just disappear? You have? Or have you heard people say this? Yes. So this basically people say when they are very stressed, when they can't bear the pain, and they just wish that like, I wish I just disappear. I wish that they think like they are burdened, and they think that once they escape, all the pain will go. So that is passing thought, and that is what suicide ideation is. I hope this topic is clear to you. Yes, I'm moving it fast, but if you don't understand, please raise your hand, okay? Because I know you guys are hungry. Okay. So next topic is death wish. Now, when I talk about this death wish, what do you think death wish is? Please hurry up. What do you think what death wish is? Any answers? I heard somebody. Yes, similar to that. So death wish is something where people say that they don't want to exist at all, okay? You might often hear that people saying like, I wish I was not born at all. Have you come across people say that, I wish I was not born at all? Yes. So this is what death wish is, where this is a very, what you say, a very recurrent thought where they think like, my all problem would not exist if I was not there at all. I won't be in this particular situation if I was not born at all. And this is where people would be like isolating themselves and like, skipping their meals, maybe either sleeping too much or not sleeping at all. And if, imagine if a person who is very energetic, maybe let's imagine you have a friend who is very extrovert, he or she just like to spend time with everyone, talk to everyone. But then suddenly you can see the signs like they don't talk to you, they don't pick up your phone, maybe like, they isolate themselves. These are the signs where you have to notice that a person is going through something. So what do you think when you see this sign, what would you do? I see you guys are a little busy passing the sheets. Can we stop passing the sheet for just 2 minutes and answer this? Like, when you see a person who shows the sign, what do you think you can do? How? Yes, like, see, when you see a person who says that I don't want to exist, I wish I was not born at all, and I have often seen people say this, if I go to sleep, I wish I don't wake up in the morning. So if you come across people using these phrases, what you have to do is, without hesitating, ask the follow-up questions like, do you want to talk about this? Do you want my help? Would you like to tell me, could you please explain more about this? If not you, then you try to, take the help from the counselor or maybe your class teacher, maybe mentor, okay? Okay? Okay, fine. Okay, then what not to do? I think people often say this like, you're doing just because you want attention. People quote them as attention seekers. So make sure that you don't tell them that they are attention seekers, or maybe say like, everyone go through this. What's big thing? I go through that. You will go. You might be going through this. It is just a phase. Never say those stuff. Okay. Make sure you are non-judgmental. Help them out. If you are not in a position to helping them out, make sure maybe you contact some counselor, maybe a psychiatric, psychologist, or just maybe the class guide. Is that okay? That is about death wish. Am I clear? Okay, cool. Then comes suicidal thought. So now suicidal thought is basically the recurrent thought, okay? So here a person will keep thinking about suicide again and again and again. They wake up, they think about suicide. They go to washroom, they think about killing themselves. They think like how they can kill themselves. Everything in their mind 24/7, all they think is like how to end their life, how to escape from this situation, or how to escape from this pain. So that is suicide thoughts, where they would be like, okay, have you seen this where a person suddenly start texting you like, thank you so much for being my friend. You were a really good friend. Thank you so much. Like random, like, I love you so much. Thank you for being there for me. Have you come across this, maybe in like someone texting you, or have you come across any news where you have seen these messages? Have you? Yes. So remember this, these are the warning signs when a person who has isolated themselves, and suddenly randomly you get a text message in the maybe 1 a.m. saying like, thank you so much for being my friend. You were a great friend. I really appreciate you. It might be your friend, maybe your colleague, maybe your sibling. So make sure that these are the signs when a person is having suicidal thoughts. Okay. Oh, and I think also my friend Nashad have explained, saying that they try to give valuable things to the other person, things they did not want to share with anyone. For example, it can be a teddy bear, maybe a shirt, maybe some gifts they have received, and I think pencil too. Yeah, so here they give away their valuable thing, thinking that in the future they might not be able to use this. So they think like, what's the point of having this? So let's just give them away. So these are the signs when a person is having suicidal thought. And next is suicidal plan. Now, suicidal plan is a very risky one. This is like a last where they think like they want to end their life. Okay, how many of you have you seen this series or have read this book called 13 Reasons Why? 13 Reasons Why, Hannah Baker. Yes. I see a few people raising their hand in the back. So people who have not, okay, I don't want to give the spoilers, but you can see that she, okay, it's not a spoiler anyways. You can see that she has this 13 reasons, and in the end, she kills herself. So if you, people who have seen that series, you can see like her reasons. For us, it might seem like silly, but for her, it was very important, something that changed her life. And her 13th reason is when her counselor does not support her. And she was waiting for that one particular reason. She was looking for it. When I'll get one reason and I'll end my life. So that's what happens in suicide plan, where they start looking for one particular reason or one particular mistake they did, and then they start planning where to do, how to do, and when to do. Is that clear with suicidal plan? This is where they think they have made up their mind that they are gonna end their life, and they start like, okay, one more thing is, when it comes to suicidal plan, imagine if a person is isolated themselves, they are very depressed, they are very sad, and suddenly you see one day they are like, one day they're very happy, they're talking to everyone. I think that's what happens with Hannah Baker too. She was depressed for like months, and suddenly when she planned that she's gonna end her life, she's very happy that she went to a party, she had fun with her friends. This is what happens with people too. When they have already made up their mind that they're gonna kill themselves, they suddenly become happy, they mingle with everyone, and then in the end they kill themselves. That's what happens in suicidal plan. Is it okay? Clear? Okay. And then comes suicide attempt. Now you might be thinking like, people have already attempted, what you can, as a gatekeeper, what you can do. What do you think you can do when a person has attempted? Guys, what would you do if you see someone has attempted? Sorry? Yes, you would assess them, maybe you call an ambulance, right? Right? Okay, so I'll give you one example what happened, okay? So one person, she was going through a lot, and she could not bear the pain, so she just goes to washroom and takes pills, okay? And she come back to class, she was attending a lecture, she comes back to class and she sits next to a person. Now let me tell you, the person who was sitting next to her was not her friend, she was just her classmate. And this classmate, she just noticed that this girl is like very dizzy. She was not able to hold her pen properly, and she was like, understood? Yeah, okay. So she was not able to stay focused. She was like sleepy. She was dizzy, not able to hold the pen properly. So she just asked her, okay, instead of ignoring, she just asked her, like, what's the matter? And the girl says that she has taken the pills and she has made an attempt. So if you were in that other girl's position, what would you have done? Would you just sit still there? Would you sit still there? How you are sitting still right now? Would you do the same thing? No. What would you have done there? Yes. You would have gone to lecturer and told her, right? So this is what the person have done too. She straight up went to the lecturer, told her that she has taken the pills, and the ambulance was called, and she was taken to the hospital, and thankfully her life was saved. So this is what happens. So if you come across people who have made an attempt, instead of just ignoring or thinking like, oh, they're not. Okay. So this is what happens. Like, if you come across anyone, just don't sit there thinking that they're not their friend, or like they're just, my classmate. Don't do that. Just go to a lecturer or call the ambulance and take that person to the hospital. So that's suicidal attempt. I hope this is clear to you. So thank you. I would be passing this mic to my friend Aishwarya.
So hi guys, I know it's time, so I'll just quickly brush things up. We'll try to send the PPT to you guys, so you can just go through it. You can save a life too. Sounds like a TEDx speech, right? So how do you think you can save a life? Guys, please be interactive so we can wind it up as easy as we can, like as soon as we can. How do you think we can save a life? I'm sorry, I didn't hear. A gatekeeper, yeah. By being a gatekeeper. We spoke about who a gatekeeper is. Let's see what you can do as a gatekeeper. Next slide. Suicide prevention starts with each one of us. And in the next slide, these are the things that you as an individual can do to prevent suicide, okay? Be open-minded. As we all know, we all tend to have certain judgment in our mind when we listen to someone talk. So try to be open-minded. Be there and show that you care. Like, just be there for them. Sit next to them. It might be sitting in silence, but then show them that you really care. Listen and don't advise. When someone shares their problem with us, we all have the tendency to try solving it for them. Like, we'll give an advice. We'll be like, you can do that, you can do this. Maybe, to ease your pain. But then not everybody needs an advice or a solution. They just want to share it to someone. And then the next is lead them to safety and don't ignore signs. Like, we all spoke about warning signs, what can be noticed, and the signs they show. If you see the sign, please make sure that you redirect them to some or the other resources that are available. We'll be covering the resources too. So yeah, response with empathy. We all know about empathy, right? Putting ourselves into their shoes. Look at the problem through their vision, their environment, their situation. And then don't just be like, don't pity them. Instead, try to understand them. And watch out, do not judge. Yeah. Nashit. Remember, together we can all make a difference. Creating a hope kit. Do you guys have the habit of making a memory box? Like collecting things? Do you guys have, raise your hands if you have a memory box. So yeah, I can see quite a few people have a memory box. Why do you think we have a memory box? To save your memories, to look at it maybe in the future, to cherish your memory. A hope kit is similar to memory box, where you store things that gives you hope, that gives you, a feeling of there is a light for me in the future, there is way in the future. Whenever you feel hopeless and you feel like there's no future for me, you just keep going back to it. There are like 3 types. One is personal memory, where you keep stuff that are close to you, that is personally related to you. The second one is inspirational item, where you keep the things that inspires you the most. Maybe a quote from a movie, a book, or a song lyric, something like that. And portable reminder are like the photos you keep in your wallet, or your wallpaper, or a Polaroid you keep in your back case, or even a small flower that your friend gives you, or something like that. I would like to take a pledge. Can we all stand up and take a pledge? I pledge to talk to someone if I need help. I pledge to recognize warning signs and ask about suicide if I am concerned about someone's safety. I pledge to listen without judgment and support those around me who are struggling. I pledge to raise awareness in my community and do my best to keep myself and others safe. Thank you. You can all sit. The pledge itself is quite self-explanatory. We'll be sharing you the PPT. If at all you need some other information, you guys can contact us. Okay. Back. So, guys, get back here. Another 2 more minutes. Please bear with me. We all had times where we felt low, felt like we couldn't really talk about a problem to someone, felt like maybe our close circle might judge us. They might be your close friends, but there will be times where you can't really share your problem with someone. So at that time, we are introducing you guys to some resources that are available for you. One is Lifeline, Suicide Helpline, Mangaluru. They are totally free. You can call them at any time. It's a telephone helpline. You can call them at any time. The number is in the bookmark that we gave you. 24/7, they'll be open. It is free. It is super confidential. Your identity, your name, your privacy won't be revealed. And then they are non-judgmental. You'll get immediate support. As I said, it's 24/7. Next. There is another place where you can get help called Listening Launch, where they listen to your problem. It will be a one-on-one conversation. They'll listen to your problem. It's not proper counseling, but yeah, they'll listen to your problem and they'll try to be there for you. It's in Nantur. You can take a screenshot of it, or we'll share you the PPT. The next one. Manaswastya. This is a counseling center from ROSHNI NILAYA, where we provide therapy and counseling. If you guys need it, you can contact us anytime. Again, every place I mentioned will be super confidential and non-judgmental. Next slide. Thank you. So yeah, we spoke a lot about suicide. We had different games. Just know suicide is not a joke. If somebody at some point of life says something about suicide within like a humorous way or something, just pay attention to the warning signs. Be there for each other. Be there for your friends, and take care of yourself too. I'm sure you guys have amazing counselor here who can help you and guide you. So yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you guys for the wonderful session. As we have come to an end of this insightful workshop, it's time to express our gratitude. I now call upon Kushi to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is indeed a great honor and privilege for me to extend the vote of thanks on behalf of the organizing committee. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to a resource person, Dr. Lavina M. Noronna, for accepting our invitation and for sharing her inspiring thoughts with us today. My heartful thanks to the dearest trainee counselors from ROSHNI NILAYA for coming here and taking this session and gracing us with your inspiring thoughts. As a token of appreciation, we would like to give you a little something. I now request Ms. Jennifer Mascarenes to hand over the letter of appreciation to the resource persons. A sincere thanks to the Department of Counseling for organizing this event and for their constant support and encouragement in making this session a success. A special mention goes to our volunteers, buddies, the organizing team and the technical team whose hard work behind the scenes made everything run smoothly. And I also extend my gratitude to all our participants for today's event. Finally, I thank the audience for your keen participation and encouragement, which truly gave life to this gathering. With these words of gratitude, I conclude my vote of thanks. Thank you all and have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you, Kushi. We now wind up with the program. Let us remember to be the reason for hope in someone's life by choosing to understand those around us so that we can create a world where no one feels alone in their struggles. Thank you one and all and have a great weekend.